Question down. Okay. Now you can. Perfect.
Permission granted. Let India flourish much more, much more.
शुभ दिन आया भारत ना कंट्री ऑफ ऑनर रुतबो पाया
How are you? Hi, morning. Hello, sir. कैसे हैं? Hello, sir. How are you? बाबू जी, how are you?
You can pick your side. What's your profile? Which one?
ज़्यादा कर दिया है. AR is this side and that side. I get options. Veena ji.
Row is reserved for all the actresses and actors. Please come here. Acha. Tamanna? Yes.
Hi.
Hi. Sorry, that's my name. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, and distinguished members of the Indian delegation,
Mic is not working.
ladies and gentlemen, and distinguished members of the Indian delegation, I welcome you all to the India Pavilion, which was moments ago inaugurated by the Honorable Information and Broadcasting and Youth Affairs and Sports Minister in the Government of India, Shri Anurag Singh Thakur, and dignitaries from the cine world present here. India has scripted history with the largest ever and the most diverse delegation of artists from different regions of India walking down the red carpet at this year's Cannes Film Festival. It is a matter of great pride for every Indian that India is the first ever country of honor at the Marché du Film this year, and your presence here for the inauguration of the India Pavilion in what is a landmark year for both India and Cannes speaks volumes about how Indian cinema is united in its quest to showcase its cinematic excellence and diversity to the rest of the world. In this backdrop of a historic moment for Indian cinema, I request Additional Secretary in the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting, Government of India, Neerja Shekhar, to deliver her opening remarks.
आप सभी को नमस्कार और भारत के इस पवेलियन में स्वागत है. On behalf of the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting, I welcome you all to the India Pavilion and its inaugural today. We are very, very fortunate to have all of you here. We are very happy to have our Honorable Minister, Mr. Anurag Singh Thakur amongst us, and our very dear icon and esteemed jury member, Ms. Deepika Padukone. Please. We welcome all our esteemed guests here. We are very proud of them, their achievements, and they make us and the country and the countrymen proud. We are looking at a number of opportunities as India celebrates 75 years of its independence and is the first ever country of honor with a Marshidu film this year. It's a beginning and ongoing long partnership with Cannes that India is having. Those of us who watched the opening film Coupe last night would have evidenced the beauty, the magic, and the power of cinema. It beautifully demonstrated the make-believe and the reality, and how cinema can weave things together, and how we can take stories forward, how we can take dreams forward. That's the strength of cinema, that's the power of cinema. And that's how governments and cinema have a lot in common, where we all work together to make the world a more beautiful place. We are looking at a number of opportunities here. As I said, we have brought a number of startups to the Marche this time. We have a number of unreleased films, out of which one world premiere of Rocketry, directed by Mr. Madhavan. We have some work in progress films which will be looking at producers and finances here. We have a huge Indian delegation led by some of whom you can see here. We're very proud of them. And there are a number of learnings that we are going to take from here and strengthen our own, bring new flavor to our own Indian International Film Festival at Goa. We have a few surprises for you, for which we'll be announcing the film incentives that the Indian government has decided to give. The Honorable Minister will be announcing these shortly. And please look forward to what we have to offer to the world, as we have opened our gates open for the world to come and visit India. Thank you so much, and welcome to you all.
Thank you, Madam, for giving us a broad overview of India's presence at the Marshidu Film and the Cannes Film Market. I now request the dignitaries on the dais to unveil the poster for the 53rd edition of the International Film Festival of India, set to take place this year in Goa. Let's put our hands together as the poster for the next edition of IFFI is unveiled. For over 52 years, IFFI has been one of the most significant film festivals in Asia, held annually, currently in the state of Goa. The festival aims at providing a common platform for filmmakers from across the globe. Where they showcase their talent and put forth the excellence of cinema from all over. Bringing together film cultures, the festival allows the understanding of various social and cultural ethos and appreciation of world cinema. Let's once again put our hands together for the unveiling of the IFFI poster for the 53rd edition in Goa. I now request the distinguished members of the delegation to take their seats and share their thoughts, beginning with Mr. R. Madhavan.
very good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the inauguration of the Indian Pavilion. I'm very excited, and I'm exuding confidence because I think I'm a slightly good actor, but deep inside I'm super nervous. I used to look at all these actors whose films used to premiere at Cannes and envy them and hope that one day we should be able to see the holy grounds of this place. And then when the directors went there, I was even more jealous of them. But here I am today as an actor, director, writer, and a producer with my debut. And I cannot begin to explain the amount of nervousness I feel. The only thing that gets me through that thought is the fact that I just go back to the germ of why I started this journey is because all of us heard a story that we really wanted to say. A story that was about a man whose achievement moved us and the world didn't know about. And that being the only truth is probably the strength that I have today to sit here in front of you and pretend to be confident. But I do wish and pray for your good wishes. And I want to thank especially our Minister, Mr. Anurag Thakur, the Information Broadcasting Ministry, as well as FICCI and NFTC, who made this happen at a really short turnaround time. And the fact that the team is here and the film is here is a great testimony to their efficiency. So thank you so very much, and I hope to make you all proud.
Yes, to pass you the mic to Tamanna, we would love to hear from you as well, Tamanna.
Good afternoon, everyone. It is my debut at Cannes, so I'm super excited. And if Madhavan is feeling nervous, I don't know what to call my feeling because it's definitely into 100. I think some of the most beautiful opportunities in my life have come to me when I've not been prepared for it. Be it a film like Bahubali, which changed the way cinema is viewed in India today, opened windows for pan-India films. And today being here at Cannes feels like an exactly same opportunity because I think all of this happened very last minute. But I do understand that India has contributed for years together. And finally, in the 75th year, the partnering of the Cannes Festival with India is really iconic. And Deepika being a part of the jury keeps making us proud. Deepika, we're truly proud of you. And definitely, I really look up to you. So you're a huge inspiration. Anurag ji, हमें यहाँ पर बुलाने के लिए big thank you. It's really humbling. And I wish and I hope that I can actually consciously make more contribution to cinema. Hopefully someday like Madhavan come here and showcase my film. So you guys inspire me to actually do something like that. And this opportunity is a huge push for actors like me. And thank you so much. Thank you for being here and watching all of us. Thank you.
And also being here.
थैंक यू अनुराग जी बुलाने के लिए यहाँ पे मुझे बड़ा अच्छा लग रहा था कल यहाँ पे जब हम लोग एक बार क्या हुआ 2013 में मेरी 3 फिल्में आई थी और मेन पहले पे हम लोग वॉक कर रहे थे तो मैं छोड़ के आता था वहाँ तक फिर वापस दूसरी फिल्म को ज्वाइन करता था फिर जाता था फिर आता तो ये हुआ तो कल मैं कॉन्फिडेंट था आपके साथ थोड़ा ऐसे से जाना थोड़ा जिग में जाए ताकि मैंने बता दूं थोड़ा सा कि भाई मेरा एक बहुत बुरा एक्सपीरियंस हुआ था यहाँ पे एनीवे बट बहुत खुशी हो रही है कि आप इनिशिएटिव ले रहे हैं इस तरह के सिनेमा को लेके और हमें ज़रूरत है जिस तरह के हमारे स्टोरीज़ बहुत हैं हमारी कंट्री में बहुत स्टोरीज़ हैं जो बहुत लोकल हैं लेकिन ग्लोबल लेवल पे बहुत वर्क कर सकती हैं वो क्योंकि हर जगह पे एक स्टोरी है हमारे यहाँ पे हमें थोड़ा सा आई थिंक मुझे लगता है कि उस तरह की फिल्म पे ध्यान अभी मैं आप बैठे हैं तो मैं इसलिए आप क्योंकि आप इनिशिएटिव ले रहे हैं इस चीज़ का तो मैं आपसे ही रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा कि बहुत सारी बार ऐसा एक्सपीरियंस हुआ कि वो यहाँ पे आके बहुत अप्रिशिएट हुई अवार्ड भी मिले और दूसरे फेस्टिवल्स में भी अवार्ड मिले लेकिन जब वहाँ पे रिलीज़ करने पे जाते हैं तो थोड़ा दुख होता है बहुत क्योंकि उस तरह की फिल्मों को सपोर्ट बहुत कम है आई होप कि अभी अनुराग जी हैं तो उस तरह की फिल्मों को थोड़ा सपोर्ट करेंगे थैंक यू वेरी मच
Deepika, we would love to hear from you.
Me? Oh, I wasn't expecting this. Thank you so much. First of all, congratulations to the India Pavilion आज ये inauguration के लिए and मैं बहुत गर्व महसूस feel कर रही हूँ क्योंकि it's the 75th year of Cannes, but it's also 75 years of India, and to have India as the spotlight country and to be a part of the jury is something I never imagined, something I never expected. 15 साल पहले जब मैं इस इंडस्ट्री में आई थी तो I don't think anyone had faith in me or my talent or my craft. So 15 years later to be a part of the jury and to be actually, I wouldn't say judging, but to actually be experiencing some of the best cinema in the world has been an incredible journey, and I'm truly grateful for that. I also truly believe that India is at the cusp of greatness. This is just the beginning, and I want to thank people like Rahman sir and yourself, Shekhar sir. I think you all are really the ones who've put India on the global map. It is because of your contribution over the years that has allowed people like us to be here today. Having said that, I feel like we have a long way to go as a country. I feel really proud today as an Indian to be here, to be representing the country. But when we look back at the 75 years of Cannes, and I've said this earlier, there are literally a handful of Indian films or Indian actors or Indian talent that has been able to make it. And I feel like collectively as a nation, we have it. We have the talent, we have the ability, and I think we just need that sort of conviction. And there will come a day, I truly believe, where India won't have to be at Cannes, Cannes will be in India. Thank you.
Magical words there, Deepika. Now let's pass over the mic to Mr. Rahman.
Thank you, Anuragji. A great honor being here. And Deepika, thank you for those kind words. Next time I want to see you in the center, not on the side. When you stand with the jury. I can't say much because I've been in the industry for almost 40 years. 10 years of playing outside as a musician, 30 years as a composer, and now as a director for sensory cinematic experience. And the reason why is India never tells, even though we have so many stories, we should tell stories. We have our own narrative about the West. We should be doing that. The West does Gandhi. Here's a man who's done Elizabeth, the Virgin Queen. So I'm super inspired about him. And the reason why I did this in an English language and is for the international audience is that to see whether it's possible to break those boundaries and to set a new path. Even if I fail, it's fine. But so far, I think people who have seen it. I'm talking about Le Masque. It's a sensory cinematic experience in Cannes XR. And I want to thank my whole team. And please do check it out and see how we can improve it or how we can celebrate it. And God bless you all. Thank you so much.
Shekharji, your thoughts on the occasion?
You want me to talk honestly or what do you want? Okay, honestly, all resource. For too long, we've been too impressed with the West. Agreed? Yes. What you said, absolutely. The next Cannes is in India, because if it's not, then I don't know where Cannes will go. We are the land of stories. And forever our filmmakers have been saying, how do I adapt my story so the West loves it? Yeah. But now the West is at a plateau. It's going. Some culture, I'm not saying country, it's like too nationalistic, but I will say, sir, one culture is going to become the predominant culture. Like when I was a kid, right, I was told, मुझे क्या चाहिए था उस वक्त? मुझे लीवाई जीन्स चाहिए थी, हैमबर्गर्स चाहिए थे, इन द लैंड ऑफ डोसा मुझे हैमबर्गर्स चाहिए. ये क्यों हो रहा था? Because we were dominated by a culture. There is a new culture that has to now create. We are seeing it already. The West is plateauing. The East is rising. Who is the East? We are the East. We are the culture. We are the storytellers. We have to step forward confidently that the world will accept us. Deepika, next time when you're sitting in the jury and you want to see a film again, stamp your feet. Break your high heel shoes and stamp your feet. I want to see it again. I know what the jury has been on the jury. When everybody else is asleep, slap them. said, these guys, these filmmakers have tried their best to bring them here. So good luck. On the last day, I will now tell you what will happen on the last day. You become a prisoner, so we will talk about that later. But let's go forward confidently. This is a moment of confidence. And Cannes is as important as Cannes is when it's happening. What is much more important is how we use it afterwards. The aftermath of Cannes. If I had kept every contract I had signed at Cannes after a few champagne's breakfast on paper napkins, I would be the world's biggest filmmaker so far right now. After that, you go back, "Arey yaar, wo to Cannes mein ki thi." Don't take it seriously. But take it seriously. We have to take it seriously. But if we don't take how we follow up with this seriously, then we've lost the opportunity. So, sir, thank you for being here. Thank you for being with us. That's so important that our minister is sitting amongst us saying, let's go forward. Thank you.
I think all needed to be said has been said. I will not repeat, but where one must thank is that Anuragji, thank you for taking the initiative and being the cohesive force in all this, because it's important that we come together. For otherwise बिखर जाता है, चीजें बिखर जाती हैं, तो कहीं ना कहीं उसको जोड़ के रखना बहुत जरूरी है. And only thing I'll say is that it should not be seen Cannes as a suspended event that हमने यहाँ पे we came and did what was needful and what needed to be said and go back and forget that there was a Cannes which happened. What happens as a residual in the minds of people, if you see, and Shekhar said it very eloquently earlier, that we were far too impressed with mirroring what we saw. We went back and tried to make somehow what impressions we got in our head. Now, any culture, when it becomes confident, start manifesting its core. Have we started doing that? Are we confident enough to manifest what our core is? That's the confidence we have to take back from here. Everything you see, and Deepika is there at the jury, she must be seeing it up close. I think there is a certain sense of confidence in what people are saying. Smallest of belief they have the confidence that the world will listen to me. We have to also make cinema making not a job of हिम्मत वाला. हमारे देश में हिम्मत वाले का काम हो गया, टैलेंट वाले का काम होना चाहिए, स्टोरी वाले का काम होना चाहिए. Because the film making at the process should become so simple and easy that someone who is dreaming out there in a small town of a small film could be, coming from absolutely, and we talk about diversity. How will the diversity come? Unless the empowerment happens. That's what we should try and achieve when you go back from here. That those stories which people write off, where children tell, when grandmothers tell, we are a country of katha, katha vachak, कब से सुनते आ रहे हैं? Something happens, घर में कथा हो जाती है. Katha means storyteller, whether it's the form of grandmother or the story form of someone who is a preacher or is a form of a congregation in society. We are a society of storytellers. But those stories, we are not very confident कि दुनिया सुनेगी क्या? क्या मेरी बात इतनी बड़ी है? ये confidence. And I think we are now, as Shekhar was saying, we are reaching the stage that we are getting that confidence. And I feel if we go back from Cannes, that would be the biggest achievement, that authentically we are able to express our core. Thank you.
Thank you to the artists and distinguished. Yes. Okay. Please pass over the mic.
Where I come?
You can be seated.
Okay. I just want to say that that it's our honor to be here at the India Pavilion, and extremely thankful, filled with a lot of gratitude to Mr. Anurag sir for having all of us together here, and I feel very proud as an Indian because we have Deepika being a jury, and it's such a great moment for all of us. And we have, like everyone sitting here, so I just want to say that it is, Cannes Film Festival is one of the most, world's most prestigious films festival. It is, you know, it is a dream for every artist, for every director, for every producer to be here. And I'm truly grateful. And I just hope that we flourish, India flourishes, and we as a Indian cinema flourishes more and more. So that's what I really hope for. And thank you so much, Deepika. I mean, I just can't tell you like how proud I am to see you there. It is so nice because yesterday when I saw the picture and I saw an Indian there, I just felt so emotional. And thank you so much for doing us. Thank you so much for being the face for India. And I just feel so emotional and so happy. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
Pass it to the microphone. Samik Khan.
वो सबसे अच्छी बात है एक्चुअली। नमस्कार खमांगणी सबको। और मेरे लिए बहुत गौरव और सम्मान की बात है कि 23 इयर्स बैक मैंने अपना पहला शो यहाँ पर किया था निस में। एंड 23 साल बाद में आज मैं इतनी बड़ी हस्तियों के साथ मैंने कल रेड कारपेट पर वॉक किया, नॉट जस्ट विथ माय म्यूज़िक, राजस्थान के कल्चर के साथ में। तो ये मेरे लिए बहुत बड़े सम्मान की बात है। फोक म्यूज़िक एक्चुअली फ्रॉम पीपल फॉर पीपल, हमारे अपनों का म्यूज़िक। तो मैं अपने अपनों के साथ में हूँ तो मुझे और भी अपनापन महसूस हो रहा है। और गाना सॉन्ग को गाएंगे चलो गा लेता हूँ मैं, इन्होंने बोल दिया दूल्हे ने गा लेता। बिल्कुल वो गाना, मैं बहुत नर्वस हो रहा हूँ एक्चुअली सर सामने बैठे इतनी बड़ी हस्तियां हैं तो एक्चुअली मेरे लिए तो बहुत बड़ी बात है ना। घूमरी रमवा आप पधारो सा, अगर इस पर थोड़ा सा अगर आप प्लीज, हाँ इन्होंने घूमर किया है, जस्ट घूमरी रमवा आप पधारो सा, घुमारी घुमरी चैन की राली रे माँ, घुमारी घुमरी चैन की राली रे माँ, रजरी घूमर रमवा में जासा, रजरी घूमर रमवा में जासा। वंदे मातरम वंदे मातरम वंदे मातरम वंदे वंदे वंदे। थैंक यू सो मच, थैंक यू।
Instant performance has added so much color to the inauguration ceremony, and now I request Pooja ji. Absolutely. Pooja Hegde, we would love to hear from you now. Thank you. Sit.
What can I say that the vets haven't said already, but happy to be here. It's always been a dream to work at Cannes, and I think what's amazing, sir, thank you Anurag sir for making this happen, is that I've not come with a brand, but I've come with Brand India. I've come as a representative of India. That cannot be a bigger honor for me, to be very honest, but to come as an Indian actor celebrating Indian cinema. When I ventured into my Cannes journey, I actually looked up the history, and we've always been celebrated. Nichanagar won at Cannes for the best film. And, you know, it's funny, Prasan sir, that you talking about our stories, because we have enough stories to tell in India. And if you look at what the West loves about India is Satyajit Ray sir's films, whether it's the Appu series, whether it's a film like Nayak, which is about a hero and his personal personal struggle. And it's just been shot so beautifully. It's got so much skill, so much craft, and we have that talent in India. We have it. We just need to stop aping the West, and we need to embrace our personal stories, whether it's Charulata. These are like films that are from India, which have been celebrated across the globe. Rahman sir, I mean, you have put India on the map. Nawaz sir, you are also doing amazing work, whether it's working with West or whether like Irfan sir, who's not here today, who kind of also put India on the map. So I feel like we just need to stop aping the West. We need to be proud of who we are, the stories we have to tell, because we are so culturally diverse, we are so culturally rich, and that's our biggest strength. I think that it's taken us 75 years to be the country of honor, but we're here, which means that India is making noise, and we need to continue to make a lot more noise. And of course, Deepika being here, because growing up as a girl, I don't think we've been represented enough as Indian women, and I'm so glad that you are doing that for us today. So thank you so much.
Vani ji,
And Madhavan sir, of course, for your film.
thank you, Pooja.
All I'm going to say is that India is not just a centerpiece of our attention because Deepika is here. Deepika also stands for the craft of acting and cinema. So it's a celebration time. Of course, 75th year of our country, 75th year of Cannes, and our Honorable Minister being here, walking the red carpet and being shoulder to shoulder with the filmmakers, the creative storytellers, and the kathavachaks of our country, as Prasoon sir said. I think also it's time to break the glass ceiling. As women, we have been. Women are today, Indian women are celebrated, all over the world. And you being on the Cannes jury, Deepika, also proves that point so vociferously. But as Shekharji said, immersive storytelling is what is the new normal for India, for creative storytelling and the immersion part. Look at the Pavilion today. We have a wall on OTT and content era. When was the last time you actually had stars which belong to that narrative? I think that is the new emerging narrative of India. In the next few days, we will have a lot of talk about co-production. We will be talking about the International Film Festival of India, Goa. And we are looking forward to also hearing from all our friends who are present here today as to how this journey of India can go forward. Thank you so much. Jai Hind.
Thank you so much, Vani ji, for your words. And I thank now the artists for sharing your views on such a momentous occasion and the distinguished members of the Indian delegation. India, like Vani ji had suggested, has made several strides towards ease of filming and production. The Government of India, the state governments and the union territories are implementing pro-industry policies, and now ease of doing business is set to get another major boost in the film sector. I request Honorable Information and Broadcasting and Youth Affairs and Sports Minister Anurag Singh Thakur ji to please come here and announce film incentives that will take India's film facilitation journey forward. Yeah. Right. Before that, I would request the ambassador to please come and speak and deliver Prime Minister's message to the Cannes Film Festival.
I've been waiting for you. I know you spoke to me last night. They were fantastic words.
But first, maybe just read, I don't know, Prime Minister's message. Well, I'm first reading Prime Minister's message on the occasion of India as the country of honor at the Marche du Film Festival de Cannes. I'm delighted to learn about India's participation as a country of honor at the Marche du Film Festival de Cannes. As India celebrates its 75th year of independence, the 75th anniversary of Cannes Film Festival, as well as 75 years of India-French diplomatic ties, it enhances the pride and joy associated with these momentous milestones. Films and society are mirror images of each other. Cinema showcases human emotions and expressions in an artistic manner, binding the world together with a common strand of entertainment. India is the largest film producing country in the world, with films in many languages from different regions. The multifariousness of our film sector is remarkable. Rich heritage and cultural diversity are India's strengths. We have a lot of stories to be explored. India truly possesses immense potential to become the content hub of the world. Government of India remains steadfast in its efforts towards furthering ease of doing business in the film sector. From facilitating international film co-productions to ensuring single window clearance mechanism for permissions for filming across the country, India offers seamless possibilities to filmmakers of the world. Our spellbinding locations, technological prowess in filmmaking, and the talent of young men and women provide a perfect backdrop for filmmakers. It is heartening to note that a film by one of India's most renowned filmmakers, Sri Satyajit Ray, has been restored for screening at the Cannes Classics section, when India is celebrating the birth centenary of the legendary filmmaker. This edition of Cannes Film Festival is special in many ways. Many startups from India will showcase their strengths to the cinema world. The India Pavilion will display facets of Indian cinema and promote international partnerships and learnings. Best wishes for resounding success of the festival.
Thank you, His Excellency, Indian Ambassador to France and Monaco, Javed Ashraf ji. Now I request the Union Information and Broadcasting Minister to please come forward and announce the much-awaited incentives.
Distinguished guest, is it working or? Namaskar. A very good morning to all of you. Greetings to everyone from the world of cinema. Today we are witnessing a jugalbandi between nations and ideas as India and France come together to celebrate excellence in cinema and creativity at the 75th Cannes Film Festival. At Marche du Film, this year, India intends to give the global audience a flavor of the country's cinematic excellence, technological prowess, rich culture and illustrious heritage of storytelling. As you are aware, India and France are making the 75th year of diplomatic relations. This is the 75th year of independence for India, and we are celebrating the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. This is the 75th year of Cannes Film Festival and 75th year of India and France diplomatic ties. A very special year, as India is the country of honor at Marche du Film. It is a great honor for me to be here amongst the stars of the Indian cinema, especially Deepika and others who have made their valuable time to be at the Indian Pavilion, at the opening of the Indian Pavilion. The Indian film industry over the past 110 years has epitomized India's civilization, culture of storytelling, from wall paintings to texts, from television to theaters, and from reels to virtual reality. We can very proudly say that हमारे पास सिर्फ फिल्म इंडस्ट्री नहीं, हमारे पास सिनेमा है. Creativity, excellence and innovation in India cinema has developed hand in hand with sensitive treatment of subjects of social and national importance. While reflecting the values, beliefs and experiences of the Indian people, Indian cinema has also showcased their hopes, dreams, and achievements. While being rooted in Indian culture, the Indian film industry has grown to acquire a universal character. And while preserving our age-old stories, the Indian filmmakers are innovating in their art of storytelling through use of technology. The Indian film industry, which produces almost 2,000 films every year, is the world's largest film industry. This reminds me a dialogue from Deepika's movie. ये जवानी है दीवानी, उसका ये dialogue है. I'll tweak it a bit and say, भारत का सिनेमा दौड़ना चाहता है, उड़ना चाहता है, बस रुकना नहीं चाहता. From the time of the father of Indian cinema, Dada Saheb Phalke, released the first ever full-length feature film, Raja Harishchandra in 1913, to the first India talkie, Alam Zara, produced in 1931. Until the present decade, this industry has a remarkable and rich history of producing a variety of films showcasing different spheres of Indian life, from comedy to romance, from thriller and horror to fantasy or drama, not to forget a rich collection of commercial as well as of the artistic films, as Nawazuddin said. From depicting heroism in war to the winds of change in society through the angry young man, and from love stories to the struggles in the life of a common man through the ages, to the aspiration of the youth who left yet longed for the motherland. And looking today, you leap towards the stars with your stories and beyond to Mars. In this beautiful journey, you have inspired global filmmakers and also been inspired by them. The 2020s are the best time to make art and films in India. Over the last few years, the streaming revolution has taken the country by storm, and the popularity of digital and OTT platforms has changed how films are created, distributed, and consumed. You could see a poster behind you which talks about the golden era, the colorful era, the action era, the musical romance era, and now the content era. Consumer of the global and Indian cinema have more choice than ever before. Digital streaming has reduced the cost of entry into filmmaking, empowering creators with the ability to reach wider audiences than ever before. We have a strong intellectual property regime, and the digital medium now complements the other more established models of consumption and dissemination, such as theaters and movies. This has brought about a democratization of consumer choice like never before, and our government is intent on preserving this via support to the creative industry. Our government has also embarked on a journey to restore Indian films and preserve them for the future generations. We have started the world's largest film restoration project under the National Film Heritage Mission. As part of this drive, 2,200 movies across languages and will be restored to their former glory. And looking to the future, so that the Indian film industry remains ahead of the curve, we have established a task force of the industry leaders to drive the growth of AVGC sector, a value chain which is empowering the cinema of the future. Similarly, we are excited the advent of multiple other technological developments that promise a more immersive cinematic experience for the audiences. I am delighted to announce that today in Cannes, an incentive scheme for audio-visual co-production and shooting of foreign films in India with a cash incentive of up to 30% with a cap of $260,000, and in the case of foreign films being shot in India, an additional bonus with a cap of $65,000 for employing 15% or more manpower in India. These are certain to propel our stories and culture to the audiences from across the world and allow for our culture, societal and informational, cross-pollination at a scale and depth that was unimaginable before. Today, as I said earlier, we celebrate India's 75th year of independence, and we also celebrate cinema, which has emerged as an instrument of our soft power in the last 7 decades. Today, Indian movies have acquired a distinct identity and regularly feature at reputed international film festivals at Cannes, Berlin, Toronto, and New York. And today, the talent and skill of Indian actors and filmmakers are much sought after. For the last 20 years, they have regularly been a part of the jury at the Cannes Film Festival. In the past, we have Ms. Aishwarya Rai Bachchan, Ms. Sharmila Tagore, Vidya Balan, Mr. Shekhar Kapoor, amongst many others have been on the jury. And this year, we have the honor which goes to Deepika Padukone. She is here with us. A big round of applause for Deepika. Such is the power of Indian cinema. Such is the power of Indian cinema, and it is not only the story of 6,000-year-old civilization, not only the story of 1.3 billion tales, but also the story of human talent, triumph, and the trajectory of new India narrated through your lens. I firmly believe that the India Pavilion is a pantheon for the partnerships amongst the global film fraternity and a panorama of India through its cinematic journey. And finally, before I end, let me emphasize that, led by the Honorable Prime Minister Modi, we are commemorating 75th year of independence and the celebration of the glorious history of our people, culture and achievements, threading together the themes of India's freedom movement. Our glorious heroic freedom tale is etched in the minds and hearts of all Indian citizens. It gives me immense pleasure in being able to stand here at the newly inaugurated India Pavilion as the citizen of such a culturally rich country. India Pavilion is a feather in our cap. Only with your Vishwas and Prayas today, it will become the pioneer of the India dream tomorrow. And I'll thank all the team members who have put all the efforts to put this together. I hope your experience at the India Pavilion will be worth remembering. मैं एक ही बात कह सकता हूं, जो भी भारतीय पवेलियन में आए वो वापस जाता हो यही कहे, मोगैम्बो खुश हुआ. Thank you very much everyone for being here, especially all the filmmakers, film stars and leaders of the industry. We will do whatever we can to make India the content hub of the world, to make India the destination of the world for the filmmaking, film production, post-production and the AVGC sector. And I'm sure with your contribution, your guidance, our government will be more than happy to make the policy changes, invite the world to make and shoot in India. My open invitation to all those who are here to be part of this year India International Film Festival, IFFI at Goa from 20th November to 28th of November. Looking forward to see you in India. Let's make IFFI the Cannes of the East. Thank you. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
Thank you, Mr. Minister, for your insightful words, and we hope that the incentive scheme that has been announced today will go a long way in making India the content hub of the world and the cinema hub of the world. I now request Shri Ravinder Bhakkar, Managing Director of National Film Development Corporation of India, to make a presentation on the film incentives announced by the Honourable Minister.
Thank you. First of all, I'll start with a short AV on the Film Facilitation Office, how the FFO in India is proactively helping the international filmmakers. So, can you play the AV, please?
That treats our imagination.
I want to go someplace where I can marvel at something.
A place immersed in its beauty and soaking in its culture. The light, colors, smiles, it teaches me something. A place that keeps its arms open to greet you with
Welcome to the best exotic marigold hotel.
Time and again, India has been the chosen destination for some of the world's biggest blockbusters. A destination that has brought to you the most diverse set of locations, where capturing your vision onto film is no longer a challenge. That has now changed. The Film Facilitation Office of the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting, set up in the National Film Development Corporation of India, NFDC, is a robust single-window facilitation mechanism that has eased filmmaking for both domestic and international filmmakers. Since its inception, FFO has been easing the filmmaking process for everyone by successfully facilitating approximately 138 international projects from 33 countries. The Film Visa has further enhanced India's attractiveness as a filmmaking destination, as it has simplified the entry of international cast and crew to not only film in India, but also conduct location recce. Obtaining local permits to shoot is now an easy cakewalk, as FFO facilitates these permissions from various states and central government ministries. In sync with the government's Digital India initiative, FFO's web portal www.ffo.gov.in accepts online applications for filming in India and for official co-productions. It facilitates all permissions in a time-bound manner. The website also enables the filmmakers to get permission for filming in Archaeological Survey of India monuments as well as locations under the Ministry of Railways. Additionally, the portal brings together all information that you require for filming in India.
Going to be extraordinary.
FFO works as a platform for industry stakeholders to engage with the government and promote India as a film-friendly destination, where directors and actors have constantly gone on record to describe shooting in India as an adventure. FFO intends to make this adventure all the more seamless and exciting for filmmakers around the globe.
I had a wonderful experience shooting in India. We shot a better part of the film Dhaka in India. The locations were extremely exotic, and I fell in love with India.
FFO office made shooting Tenet for Mr. Christopher Nolan so easy. They did all the hand-holding to get all the permissions on time.
With the FFO's ceaseless support to every passionate storyteller, we invite you to come, experience the madness, explore the exotic locales, come, create magic on screen, come, film in India.
Thank you. Now I'll very briefly talk about the incentives which the Honorable Minister just mentioned. Next slide, please. Next. So, as we all know, the India is a land of storytelling. The film shoot here, they basically pulsate the life into them. So the Indian media and entertainment sector is growing by 16.4% in 21, and the films outspaced this sector, and they recovered at the rate of 28%, and they are likely to grow more than 35% in the upcoming next 2 to 3 years. Next. So the incentive is basically 30% on the Indian qualifying expenditure, subjected to maximum of INR 2 crores or USD 2,60,000. Additional 5% up to a maximum of INR 50 lakhs will be granted for employing 15% or more manpower in India. Next. The permission will be applicable for all the films approved after 1st of April. It will for the feature films, TV, web shows, series, including the documentaries more than 30 minutes. And for the documentaries, the permission has to be from the Ministry of External Affairs, and the permission has to be issued after 1st of April 22. It's a two-step disbursement process. One is the interim approval, and there will be the final approval. Next, please. The 85% will be on the successful evaluation and 15% on mandatory submission. Okay. So this was the basic about the international film productions. Then we have similar on the co-production line as well, and we will keep a detailed session on this regard. So thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bhakkar. And Deepika, I'm told that you have to leave. So we would love you to stay on here, but if time is an issue, then we would thank you for your participation. The others may please be seated. I request the delegates to please be seated. The dignitaries and the delegates may please take your seats. I now request Mr. Biren Ghosh, Country Head of Technicolor, to come forward for the release of commemorative volume on Sri Biren Ghosh's knighthood. I'll request Indian Ambassador to France to please come and deliver your address here and also the vote of thanks. That will be befitting for the occasion, sir.
No, I think we've tested the patience of the audience and Minister in particular. For those of you who saw the film Coupe yesterday, would have realized this event resembled the film because there was a constant change in the sequence of events and the order of events. And I think there's some way, some degree of protocol has to be observed. But since I've been asked to speak and I don't want to hold people for too long, first of all, I wanted to thank Minister for Information and Broadcasting, and I'd request you to just wait for a few moments. We say that at 75, India is rediscovering the vigor and the vitality, the audacity and the aspiration, and the dreams and the resolve of the youth. And I think in age and in spirit, you embody that new sense of what is India. So thank you for being here today with us. You've been a remarkable leader here in this with enormous commitment. I know 2 nights you went without sleep, but you seem to be here with the same spirit and zeal. So thank you very much for being here. To the stars that bring us here in particular, the skies above Cannes are brighter today because of your presence. And this evening is going to be much nicer. As a citizen, I'd like to say that, when we celebrate 75 years of India's independence, I think nothing captures our journey better than our cinema in every aspect of the way. And as individuals, we've grown from 360 million to 1.4 billion over 75 years. We've added a billion. It feels a bit like this room does at this moment. But you have spoken for each of us at every stage. You have been with us when we've been lonely. You have been with us when we are in despair. You've comforted us. You have joined us in our celebrations. You have given us songs that speak for our emotions better than we do. And you have held the clearest mirrors to our darkest secrets and truths, but also enabled us to fly among the angels and gods. So thank you for what you have done to enrich our lives. But beyond our shores, and as a diplomat, I want to say a big thank you, because nothing that we have done can match what you've done for India outside our country. You have been the chronicler, the interpreter, the carriers of the universal story, our history, our diversity, our extraordinary progress and achievement, our emotions, our sentiments, our ideals and values, our valor and our struggles, all together. You have been the one who has built our bridge to the world. You have made the world know us better and love us more. And you have made the world dance to our music. And that's the biggest achievement, metaphorically and really. But I'd say that as we go forward, here's something I want to add, that as a diplomat, that the vision that we have for ourselves in this world, you're going to be a very important part of it. You are an indispensable part of our soft power, of our expanding our influence in the world. And whatever we wish to achieve, even in geopolitical terms, will be incomplete without the stories you tell and the bridges that you build. So as we go forward, it isn't just about co-production, it isn't just about exports of cinema, it isn't just about shooting in India. It's about what you do to change the way the world looks at us. And it is happening, and I see it in this young voices that spoke today with so much confidence and resilience. But in everything else, the world is undergoing digital disruption in every respect. And so is it in the world of cinema, in narrative, in content, in creative field. And we have the demography, we have the digital power to make that possible for us to lead the world as we are leading the world in public digital infrastructure, which is a widely known fact. I think we can be clearly a global leader in this field. So there are 3 points I want to leave with you, sir, and leave with the rest. One is, of course, how do we leverage festivals like Cannes? And I think we can be better prepared. For the same level of effort, we can start planning in advance, curate events that attract people. We can be the go-to people at Cannes or Berlinale or Venice or Sundance or Toronto or London or anywhere else. But the more important point is, how do we, like in tennis Grand Slams, make this as the most IFFI as the most important Grand Slam in the series of film festivals that take place? We don't have to be the Cannes of the East. We'll be the IFFI of the world, as you have rightly said. And finally, I think we can do a lot in terms of making cinema an important part of our diplomacy. We do that with performing arts. We do that with visual arts. We do that with culture. But we haven't done that enough with cinema. And I'd like to start by proposing that we make an international Indian Film Festival a permanent feature of Paris calendar every year. And I look to you for your support. We are ready to do it. We'll get the sponsorship so that we don't burden the exchequer too much. And finally, over the past 1 year, we've done a lot in terms of connecting our digital startups and our creative content. Next month, we are the country of honor at the Viva Tech, which is the largest digital fair in the world. I'd like to add at least a few startups from the creative area, from the cinema, to our pavilion, which is going to be a very large pavilion. We'll also have the largest digital pavilion over there and 80 speaking sessions. So I think there is an enormous opportunity for us to leverage that, because France pays a lot of attention to the creative content. With these 3 ideas, I want to leave this. Thank you very much, above all, to all of you for being here today, for the patience, for your support, because it is ultimately you who are going to make them a great success. So together, let us celebrate what cinema has done to enrich our lives, to enrich and to enable us to who we are as a nation at 75. Thank you all very much.
Thank you, Ambassador Sir. And with that, the inaugural ceremony of the India Pavilion at the Cannes Film Festival draws to a close. Thank you all for joining us. We have with us the Executive Director of the Marche film, Mr. Jehome. You're most welcome here.